Hi and welcome back to Normski TV, doing a player ratings and review of the game. And yeah, we run out 4-2 winners against Dundalk away. We've won 6 out of 6, 18 points, scored 15 goals or more, I think, if my memory serves me right. And we are doing really well concerning the Europa League. I mean, we're top of the table, playing nice, what I would call, not necessarily in this game, but the last game was expansive football. In this game was a bit more measured. Arteta went with a almost like a defensive formation. I was just wondering why he was going like with this 3-4-3. And so obviously when we haven't got the ball, we'll have 5 in the back. And this just shows that Arteta is very much a defensive coach, very pragmatic. And it makes you wonder why we're not creating as much chance, especially when it comes to the Premier League. I mean, we're quite fortunate when it comes to the Europa League, because the teams that we're playing, they're not of the standard. And to be quite honest, I would have thought he would be a bit more, brave in terms of going with a more attacking formation. But this is Mikel Arteta. So, this is what we've got to go with. And just looking at the side that he picked, obviously he had Runnison in goal. Back three was Chambers, Mustafi and Mari. The wing backs were Maitland-Niles on the left, with Cedric Suarez, who had a very good game, probably the man of the match, putting some really great crosses, was up and down that right hand side, so I really thought he played well. In the middle of the park you had Mohamed El Nene and Willock, and Mohamed El Nene scored a wicked goal. And when you saw it, I was watching it and it literally flew into the top bins from about 25-30 yards out. What a shot. He scored a similar goal against MK Dons when we had the pre-season. So yeah, it was good to see him. He looked quite shocked. He looked quite shocked, but we need to probably do more of that, especially when it comes to the Premier League. And then up front, the three up front was Pepe on the right, Nketiah playing down the middle, and Smith Rowe playing on the left-hand side. So, and Smith Rowe had a good game as well, and we'll go into each individual players and when we come to the actual player ratings. But overall, it wasn't long before I say long before we had to wait for a goal. The first sort of 5-10 minutes, it was just Arsenal kind of finding its way in terms of just not necessarily working at Dundalk, but do you know what I mean? It was quite sort of like chess-like at the start of the play. And then, and to be honest, Dundalk, they had nothing to lose. They could actually just play without any pressure. And, they played, what I would say is that in terms of their passing and playing out the back, they do it a lot better than us, much quicker than us. But we did have some really good pressing from our players, our front three, especially Eddie Nketiah. And there was a couple of times where he had literally pounced on a couple of loose balls or just pressurised the defender and was able to, in this case, get a goal, which he nicked over the keeper in the 12th minute. So that was really good from him. Other than that, didn't really see much more from him apart from that goal. But listen, if you get it, you got to put it in the back of the net, and that's what he's done. And then the strike from Mohamed El Nene from outside the box, I think this was on the 18th minute, and literally struck it sweetly. I think it was assists from Smith Rowe, played the ball across to him from the left-hand side, and he pinged it with his right foot right in the top bins. You couldn't stop that. I mean, if that was any other player doing that, like in the Premier League, we'll be, having kittens. You know what I mean? But it was a fantastic strike. He looked very surprised himself, as I said, and it was a well taken goal. and great. That was fantastic. So, you know, we're comfortable, 2-0, very comfortable. But then Dort get back in with a goal, and I felt that Pablo Mari could have done better. I think he was at fault for the goal because there was like a 1-2 that was played between the Dundalk players, and the guy kind of ran off Pablo and he didn't go with the runner. And then Runnison could have possibly, I think he could have done better. I don't think he got across quick enough. And I think, personally speaking, you know, that was a pretty much typical save that a keeper should be making, especially at his level. But then you are paying $1.5 million for a second fiddle to Leno, so that's what you're going to get for your money. And so, you know, it's 2-1, and but it's saying that we was very much in control of the game. I didn't feel that, you know, we was being overrun or anything like that. And so, you know, we go into the second half with being 2-1 up. We come out for the second half, and we get a lovely goal from, well, before that, the assist came from Balogun, who came on, I think he came on in the 62nd minute of 62nd minute he came on. There was a double substitution. I think also Ceballos came on as well. But what I like about Balogun is that this guy's movement is very good. He can hold up a ball fantastic. He's very strong. And as soon as he came in, he wanted the ball. And he gets into very good goal-scoring opportunities. And, you know, he can receive the ball with his back to goal, which is really good. And he's strong as well. And that's something that our two front players, like Lacazette and Aubameyang, they just can't do. I mean, Lacazette holds up the ball, but he doesn't hold it up, I don't feel, personally, as well as Balogun does. And if the ball does come to him, the likelihood is that he's going to lose it. And to be honest, that's not sort of Aubameyang's game. He's a guy that will play off the cuff. So, yeah. You know, so Balogun gets an assist where ball was played into him. He had his back to goal. He drew about 2 or 3 defenders to him, so he created the space where he was able to lay it off to Joseph Willock, who took his goal very well. And also, you know, he had a very good game as well. And, yeah, good goal. We go 3-1 up. And at this point, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm probably going to get my predictions probably going to be right, because then Floro Balogun, from assist from Nicolas Pepe, scores a beautiful goal, coming in, cutting in from the left with his right foot, and pings it into the low corner of the goalkeeper, and we go 4-1 up. And I thought, that's it, lovely. My prediction was right. Said I was going to have a big score, and it happened. But then they end up scoring in the 85th minute, and this came from, which I didn't think was a free kick. I don't know why the referee blew, but they ended up getting a free kick out on the corner, just outside, maybe say 25 yards out, but coming from the corner of the 25-yard box, and it was played in, and I think Pablo Mari again could have done better in terms of, because where the guy headed it was from the penalty spot, and literally Mari, when he jumped, he ducked. So rather than sort of jump and try and attack and put the player off, he literally kind of jumped and ducked and had his head down. And to be honest, again, Runnison could have done better of saving that. It was again a standard save that he could have made, but we pay the money. That's the sort of player you get. To be honest, you know, he's what you call your typical sweeper keeper. That modern day, you know, sometimes you'll see him coming out, you know, he's literally near the halfway line, you know, looking for a pass or trying to, you know, be that sweeper keeper. But, you know, against better teams, you could get yourself into trouble. And we end up conceding a second goal, but we win the game 4-2, and we get the full works in terms of getting 18 points, winning 6 games out of 6, scoring 15 plus goals. What more can you ask for? And I did say in my preview that I want to see goals. I want to see these guys playing, to be expressive in terms of how they play. They weren't as expressive as they were against Rapid Vienna. I felt that in this game they were a bit more measured, but they were very much professional in terms of what they did. And so we win 4-2. I think the draw is coming out on Monday, and there's a number of teams that have dropped in, like Man United, who went out. So they're now playing in the ML Cup. Mr. Goldbridge likes to knock the old Arsenal team for playing there, but you're there alongside us, and we'll see what the draw will be like come Monday. I mean, we've got 3 or 4 English teams through: Leicester, ourselves, Tottenham, and obviously Man United dropping down from the Champions League, and then obviously Rangers top their group and won it. Celtic, I believe, are out, and so we from the English shores, we have 5 teams in the knockout stages. Now, the teams that are coming down, this is where it's going to get really interesting in terms of the quality of teams that are now in the knockout stages. This is the best part of it. The group stages, with the quality of teams that were in our group, we should win that group. And thankfully, we went and topped it, and literally 100% record. So it's going to be interesting who we get. But depending on who we get, I'm sure that Arteta is going to probably bring back his big guns. But, if we're carrying on in the form that we're playing at in the Premier League, and we're coming up against quality sides in Europe, I don't know if we'll stand any chance. And to be honest, I only hope of getting back into Europe, because the way we're playing right now, I can't even see us making the Europa positions, much more the European top 4 spaces. So it's going to be a tough ask, but I'm just hoping that Arsenal get their act together. We got a game coming up on Sunday, Burnley, and there's a number of players that I feel have put their hat in the ring. Balogun, why not have another option? Have him on the bench, at least have him on the bench. But we know you're going to have him on the bench. He's going to have the likes of Eddie and Nketiah on the bench. And I don't feel, if you bring him on, the way Balogun came on, and within a matter of minutes, the guy's got an assist and a goal. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, and if you look at the time that he's had on the pitch, I think he's scored, I think he's had 2 goals or 3 goals and 2 assists. You can't ask for much more. And so, that's right. Yeah, I think he's had 3 goals and 2 assists. And Emil Smith-Rowe again, I think he played very well today. Linked up really well with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. But is he going to be on the bench? I don't know. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles will probably be on the bench, but is whether Arteta's going to bring him on. Again, I want Ainsley in that midfield because we need legs in that midfield. Albeit that, listen, we're playing Burnley now. Right now, I'm not confident. Based on our form, I'm not confident. Now, Burnley could come up and set up a low block, and then we have to try and break them down. And we haven't got the quality to break them down, because the problem with us is that we haven't got no creativity. We can't break teams down because we haven't got the quality of players to do it. That's why we're ending up now crossing balls left, right and centre. 40-odd crosses in the Tottenham game, 30-odd crosses in the Wolves game, and no chances. It would have been better if we had someone like a Chris Woods, playing in the box, or a Giroud, or someone like that, where we know that somebody be on the end of those crosses. I mean, Cedric Suarez tonight put in some real great crosses. Some, hit the spot, but the players weren't there to finish the chance. And so, this is the problem that we've got at the moment. But, so Burnley, I'm calling it a 6-pointer. we need to win that game. We just need a bit of confidence, because right now, our confidence right now is pretty much shattered. So let me just go quickly into the player ratings, starting off with Runnison in goal. I felt that he could have done better on both goals. I'm going to end up giving Runnison a 4. That's what I'm going to be giving him. I don't think, he's a £1.5 million goalkeeper, and that's all he is. So, we need to get a decent number 2, because if at any point Leno gets injured, are we going to use him? I'll probably rather go for Matt Macy or someone like that. But you're going for Runnison, but and I'm sure he in France he made the most mistakes in the French league, so it's not good stats at the moment. So I'm giving him a 4. Let's start on the right. Let's start with the defenders. Callum Chambers had an okay game. Nothing really to really write home about. He just Callum Chambers done his bit, done his job. I'll give him a 6. Mustafi was probably the best defender out of. Actually, let me change my score for Callum Chambers. I'm gonna give Callum Chambers a 5, and Mustafi, I felt he was the best out of the 3. I'm gonna give him a 6. I want to give Mustafi a 6. We didn't keep a clean sheet. Pablo Marie, not one of his better games. There was a couple of times where he pressed quite high and won a couple of intercepted a couple of balls, which I thought was really good. But in terms of what for the goals, he let a player run off him, didn't go with him, just stood still, and then the free kick where he just ducked, and he ends up the Dundalk player ends up scoring and getting that second goal. So for Pablo Marie, I'm gonna give Pablo I'm gonna give Pablo a 5. I'm gonna give Pablo a 5. Right, so in the middle of the park, we had let's start off with on the right hand side. What should we say? The wing back Cedric Suarez. I felt was our best player on the pitch tonight. Literally was up and down. Defensively he was good. His attacking play was good. Crossing was really good, and literally he took a couple of free kicks which went pretty close, and he was the main man making things happen. So I'm giving I'm definitely going to give him man of the match. I'm going to give him an 8. That's what I felt. That's probably going to be the highest score. So I'm giving Mr. Mr. Cedric Suarez at 8. Next to him was, let's remember the players, was Willock, who scored. And again, the thing I like about Willock, there's one thing I like about Willock, and there's another thing I don't like about Willock. The first thing is that he's doing very well in the Europa League. He's probably being our best player throughout the group games and scoring practically nearly in all the games. But he scored tonight, which was good. And what I like about him is when he picks up the ball, his only fault is to go forward and attack. The only thing that I have issue with Willock is that he holds onto the ball too long. There was one instant where he had the ball and he was literally running at their back 4. And rather than look up, he's just running. You think, release the ball, because you was drawing them to you, and so the space was created. But that's the only thing that I would have against you. You've got to learn to release the ball much earlier than what you're doing. But other than that, you had a pretty much decent game. I'm going to give you a 7. Next to him, Mohamed El Nene. What a goal. What a fantastic goal. Top bins from outside the box. He looked, as I said, he looked shocked himself. I thought he, had a very much El Nene game, just kept it ticking over. Didn't seem troubled, done pretty well, okay. I'm going to give him also a 7 as well. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, It looks like it's going to be a 777 here, because I think he also played well. He linked up really well with Smith Rowe, and his link up play was really good. Was getting up and down that side of the on the left hand side, and for me, try to make things happen, and was always trying to push forward in terms of trying to make things happen down that left hand side. So I'm going to give Ainsley Maitland-Niles also a 7. Okay, going with Pepe, who again worked hard, and I'm going to keep saying it. We're not playing one trick. When I say one trick, street football. It's almost like he's playing off the cuff sometimes. Does too many step overs, and when he's meant to release the ball, it's just that his end product. That's the problem. He will do all the hard work, but then decides to do an extra step over and lose the ball. And for me, at the moment, you would have thought, obviously, with it, you being suspended from the Premier League, this was your time to really, really shine. You are one of our most creative players, but we've got to make sure that there is end product. And obviously, you're serving your last ban against Burnley, and then you'll be back for the game against Southampton. We'll to see whether he stakes his claim for a place in the Premier League. But I'm going to give Pepe a 6. Eddie Nketiah, who got the goal, again, done well with the pressing, got the goal. And that was about it. Other than that, do you know what I mean? I felt that Balogun done more when he came on. But I'm going to give Eddie Nketiah a 6 as well. Smith Rowe, I liked his link-up play. What I like about Smith Rowe is that his first thought is when he picks up that ball, he's pinging it straight off, more say than other. He's pinging that ball forward, trying to find a forward player. And he creates the space and the angle. And as I said, he linked up really well with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I'm going to also give him a 7. He also got an assist as well, which was good as well. So I'm going to give Smith Rowe a 7. So now for the players that came on, Dani Ceballos came on, didn't really do much, didn't really see much from him. There was one time where he played a pass out to the left. He was trying to ping it to Ainsley Maitland, and he just literally hit it as if he was hitting a free kick. And I'm thinking, what kind of pass is that? It's just ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? He's just really lost it completely. I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know if it's because he's since he's cut that hair and he's got a crew cut, that his football's just gone downhill. But I'm going to give Dani Ceballos a 5. Balogun came on for Eddie Nketiah. And as I said, when he came on, the guy really affected the game. His hold-up play is brilliant. He was coming deep for the ball. He's very strong positionally. His awareness, and he just makes these runs or creates space for himself, which I like. And his movement in the box is just brilliant. And he got himself a goal as well. And for that, I'm going to give Balogun, for the time that he's on the pitch, I'm going to give Balogun a 7 as well. Ben Cotterill came on for Smith Rowe. Didn't really see much of him, to be honest. I'm just going to give him... Didn't really do much, do you know what I mean? I'm just going to give him a 5. I was hoping that he would shine a little bit more, but, I'm hoping that, obviously you're probably not going to see him again. He'll probably just end up going back and playing in the under-23s. But, yeah, he came on for Smith Rowe. I'm going to give Ben Cotterill I'm going to give him a 4, because I didn't really see much from him. And then Miguel Aziz came on for Joseph Willock. Only came on in the 83rd minute. Now, again, I'm going to give him a low score because he wasn't on long enough. But I'm going to give him a 4. But I did like what I saw, because he seems quite composed on the ball, and he looks quite strong, quite built. That big long flying lock of hair. hopefully he'll be one for the future to look out for. But as I said, not really enough time on the pitch. I'm going to give also Miguel Aziz a 4 as well. The manager, Mikel, you know, I was hoping that he would have picked Balogun and give him a full run out, but obviously he hasn't done that. He went with a defensive lineup, and that's the only thing, you know, that kind of jars me about Mikel. He's a very pragmatic manager, and that's why I think, I don't know, I think we're just not creating enough. And, you know, you got the likes of Aubameyang who's just frustrated. You can see that in the way he's playing on the pitch, off the pitch. And, you know, you've got his agent, you know, sort of making noises about, you know, the way things are going on in terms of creativity on the pitch. And so it's, at the moment, it's a bit of a mess. I just hope we get it right and get it sorted out quick time. I'm going to give Mikel Arteta a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. Right, it's a big score. Yes, we won the group. You know, we've scored X amount of goals. Totally different side to the Premier League side in terms of the way we play, the amount of goals we scored. You just wonder why we cannot translate that into the Premier League. Now, as I said, Burnley, big game coming up on Sunday. I will be doing a preview for that game. This is a 6-pointer. And if I tell you the truth, I'm not that confident. And the reason why I say that is because the form that we are in. And I just can't see, looking at the way we're playing right now, I can't see where we're going to score a goal. Not only that, we're going to be playing at home, so there's going to be added pressure. Okay, there's only going to be about 2,000 fans there. We're not doing very well at home either. And I know Burnley are not going to make it easy for us either. And so, do you come out there? Does he set up pragmatic, or does he say to his guys, go out there and play your socks off, start to create, play with the handbrake off, and get Aubameyang on that score sheet? That's all we're asking for. We need to see something. We need to see something positive. And at the moment, we're not seeing that at the moment. Let's hope and pray that that changes on Sunday. And I'm sounding like a scratch record, hopefully doing a good player rating and review of the game. Listen, guys, thanks for watching the show. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.